Boy, we were just looking at these swim fishies here in the water. Boy, oh boy, I don't know if it's just being unfit. I know I am unfit, admittedly, but I don't know if it's a combination of being unfit and my brain being dizzy. But as my friend has now seen for himself, I've had to stop every 10 meters and find shade today because I've got this backpack. Yep, gonna go and camp for the first time in ages somewhere in the mountain, and looking quite forward to it. It's just, the thing is, it's in the middle of the day. It's like, well, it's peak time. Started I think at about 1 o'clock, somewhere around there. But this is now the first. I actually went for a little dip in this water now. And well, not a dip, I just went and laid in it to cool myself down, prepare myself psychologically for the rest. But hang in there, guys. Might do a little time lapse of putting up my tent. That's, at least it's different, a little bit different from a normal walk, eh? I'm not like that, who's that Swedish guy? I know you might stumble upon this, you have a look at it sometimes. I like all the shorts that you've been putting on. But we put up our tent a bit later and have a piece of sausage and scrambled eggs. That's my food. Now my friend always takes his umbrella as his so-called loopstok, like they say. And now it's taken us a while, but he came up with the idea and said, you know, with this, I don't know whether it's sunstroke or what it is, but he came up with the idea, don't know when I use his umbrella. I said, yes please, that's not a bad idea, but I'm suffering in this heat. He's doing well, but I'm suffering today. But we're more than halfway there. Boy, how nice. I feel so important. I feel like somebody who's in, like some business person maybe in Britain or something. Thanks, man. I think it's recording. Boy, oh boy, am I glad we made it to what will probably be our destination, but we still haven't actually made a full decision as to where we want to camp. One thing's for sure, we're definitely not going any higher than what we've done now, and that is good news. Today came as a bit of a shocker to me in terms of my abilities, but it's also because I mostly go to sleep actually, yeah, at about 1 or 2 o'clock, somewhere around there, after I've taken my medication. So it could be that, or I don't know, but the hard work's been done and we're in some shade, taking a nice rest now. And it is now about 4 o'clock, somewhere around there, just before 4, and we might just cool down even a little bit more. There is a stream not too far from where we are, and then go and wet my clothes in there. If it dries out, if it happens to dry out, I'll just go and wet my shirt there, which I did at that stream further down. I'll wet my shirt in there, and that I think helped a lot between there and coming up here. So at some stage or another, I'll catch you when I put up the tent. And then tonight, scrambled eggs and rice. I can't remember where that comes from. So there was some joke or something about somebody, or something in a movie about scrambled eggs and rice. But it's scrambled eggs and a piece of wors, sausage, they would call it in English. Only in South Africa that one would know what wors is. That is for supper and for breakfast tomorrow. Catch you a bit later. piece of sausage. 8 eggs. No. I've managed to fit 12 eggs on there. Other piece of sausage gets done when this is done. As soon as that's done, then it's all. Then the other half I can just make ready tomorrow morning. I'm only going to have half of it tonight. And let's not forget about the alcohol-free beer there. I forgot to bring cooking oil, but that's fine. Let's get going here, guys. Sausage. I'll do the other half of the sausage now. But I was just told if it's sizzling, you must turn it. Don't let it rest too long, even if you turn it every couple of seconds here. This is the first time. When last, I'll have to go and look on YouTube when last I went camping. I know where it was. It was on the top of the saddle between George Peak and Craddock Peak. That's the last place. And if it was a mission for me, like a serious mission, just getting to today's camping spot, then I don't know how I made it up there, but I made it in 2 trips. When we went camping up there, I took half my stuff the previous weekend and stashed it away there behind a certain rock. And then the following week we all went up and had half the load that the rest of the people had. But that was some serious, but it was winter. Let's not forget that it was winter time. And the temperature, I was saying earlier, the temperature there was minus, no, it wasn't minus, it was 0. Now, let me tell you something, for South Africa, that is cold. It's like seriously cold. Certainly down here at the coast. You don't get zeros here at the coast. Down in town it would be warmer, but up there it was 0. And I got cold. I took this little pocket rocket in my tent and just shifted it around just to warm it up a bit there. And it worked. Already put my pajamas on because my shirt, with the heat we had earlier, I wet to cool myself down. And I've decided I don't care what goes on around me here circumstantially. I'm putting my pajama top on. Catchy Nana, I've got some scrambled eggs to do in this. Might record that too. I'm looking forward to this. Does anybody want some cappuccino of some kind here? Thank you. That dinner was very tasty. Now, knowing myself, that sausage I was talking about, I might just finish the rest of it later. It never lasts long with me. The idea is that it's supposed to, half of it is supposed to be for tomorrow morning at least. Have like a wimpy farmhouse breakfast maybe of some kind. I just don't have bacon. So, although I have 2 alcohol-free beers, I don't feel like it now. So, making a cappuccino here. Forest. What is it now? December? If you're in the Northern Hemisphere and you happen to be watching this now, it's probably pitch dark at you now if you're in Canada. It is now 7:30, close to 7:30. And some of these trees in the forest that we've opted for are so high. And you still got some sun on there now. We've still got daylight. And of course, further down here at the coast in South Africa, in George, needless to say, you don't need to be a rocket. Did I say rocket? Boy, there's this pocket rocket fly when you heat that up, when you heat something up with it. Down here at the coast, our longest days are obviously a little bit longer than Johannesburg, Limpopo Valley in the northern parts of South Africa. Actually, I should have a look at the weather forecast with all the details of one of the most northern cities, towns in South Africa, and actually try and calculate, work out how much longer our days are here. Because that's one of the first things I noticed when we moved down 26, 27 years ago, somewhere around there. I thought to myself, is it my imagination, or have I actually noticed that the days are longer and shorter, obviously, in winter? And no doubt they are. So, you want some? Is this? Taste it? Is it too hot? Catch you later, maybe in the tent or something. Where I'm going to have to... I don't have my second layer of my tent. I thought I had it somewhere, but I don't. So I'm going to have to warm myself up with my pocket rocket if it gets too cold. But I tell you, that shows you how fussy South Africans are when it comes to heat. I mean, this is nothing like Canada. It shows how fussy we are, eh? Oh, it's going to get cold. I don't think so. We've sort of been debating as to whether this is actually going to work tonight. So it's one of these cases where you might just have to rush up and say, ooh, warm yourself up quickly, quickly. Because 5 minutes later there might not be any of it anymore. But there it is. We will see, we shall see. He's becoming quite dark. Yeah, might just set the brightness a little bit. You see, if I take it away and I go to a tree stump for argument's sake, if it adjusts according to the light that isn't there from the fire, which it doesn't. GoPro, you all know, is not made. GoPro is not made for a nighttime, actually. It is now. Let me take my earplugs out here and I can see what volume I'm speaking. Don't want to wake anybody up here. About 9:30 now, and I think it's time to go to sleep. My best friend has just gone to sleep, and guess what? My zip of my sleeping bag is a bit stuffed, but it's not that cold tonight, that's for sure. I've actually brought my hammock. You may be able to see it here. Don't know if you can see it in this light. And this hammock just serves as an extra blanket that I'm just putting over it here. I'm using this red light the whole time, but this now is on the normal light, just to keep all the little insects and stuff away. Amazing what a difference it makes the moment you put the normal light back on again. You can see that they want to come. You can almost hear them outside the tent here. And I may have mentioned that I forgot, as you may have seen in the time lapse that I did. I actually forgot to bring the second half of the tent, the top layer, but that ain't the end of the world, not this time of the year, that's for sure. So time to go to sleep, get some sleep. That was now sociable, and see you in the morning. Is this recording yet? Yeah, it's recording. Morning. Woke up about, I don't know, about 10 minutes ago, somewhere around there, and had a bit of a mixed night, and so couldn't sleep at a stage because it was actually quite cold, for me at least. And then I discovered that part of this tent wasn't even closed on the outside. I hadn't closed that, and I put my jacket on. Problem solved, and I managed to get some sleep in the end. Yeah, between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock, somewhere around there, or 4:05. No, 5. Somewhere around there. So yeah, I've just woken up about 10 minutes ago, I think, somewhere in there probably. So we'll get this day up and rising and go and do some things. You know what? I'm just kidding you. I actually woke up. I thought to myself, for the first time, I'm going to pretend like I've just woken up, because this is the part that I see in so many of the videos where they're waking up and they give that and stuff and good morning and what have you, and I forgot about that part. And I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to pretend for a moment. So no, I've been awake now for 1.5 hours, somewhere around there, and I've been in and out of this tent a couple of times. So yeah, that is the story. And I'm going to make a little bit of breakfast, and I'll catch you a little bit later. Look, I'm not going to cut out every single part where I've put the camera up, and
walked. I mean, you've got the common sense to see that I've just put the camera on. Sorry, sorry about that. And walked around. Now, I'm not going to cut that part out every time and try and make it that fancy. Something in my throat. Anyway, made my breakfast. I told you last night it's going to be scrambled eggs. And that's all it is this morning. Scrambled eggs. Hopefully enough. I think there is enough. I don't normally eat breakfast actually. But I think this is a good day where one might need it. Having it here in the forest, I don't know when last. Definitely the last time I had any kind of breakfast, I don't know if we even had breakfast in the mountain, was when we went camping on the saddle on the way to Craddock Peak, when I went to the people all the way up there taking our stuff. Man, I think I told you last night, was that heavy. Taking it up to the saddle between George Peak and, sorry for the coughing. No, that one's not going to be a cough. I need water. So anyway, it is eggs for breakfast in this, it's like a stunning forest, trees, all kinds of things. And catch you a bit later maybe when there's something more specific going on. I'm not going to spend like 10 minutes watching me eat yam. Hopefully this water is going to help. And definitely worth the trip. Coming to camp here was worth it, and we'll do it again. You got to get your water from somewhere, and this, don't be misled by the color of this. It's perfectly drinkable. This was our water, is still our water, and it's probably about 30 meters from the tent. 30 meters. We knew that it would be running water still. This water always runs, even during dry seasons. Is that awesome? Is that awesome? This has been our perfectly adequate drinking water. I've had umpteen cappuccinos from this. Bag is packed, I'm ready to go. Everything is packed. Tent is packed. Let's go back to the tent there. That's all packed, everything's packed into the bag, because I don't like doing it, and that has now been done. So now that that's been done, one can sit and then debate on when you want to leave. I just love it here. The bag is packed, but that doesn't mean to say that we want to leave now. In fact, you know what? It looks like there's a couple of clouds, which is perfectly adequate. We haven't even started debating yet as to when we want to leave. We just wanted to get our things done. This has been my seat, right here. Every time I had a cappuccino or something. So yeah, we'll see. Everything is packed. We're ready to go, but we'll debate upon when we want to. This place is so awesome. You don't actually want to leave here. But I'll catch you a bit later. Is this recording? Yep. That was now fantastic, man. This night up in the mountains. Even if it's just one night, that's fine. I'm not used to making 2 nights out of something like this, but this is close enough to not have to make it 2 nights. It's close enough to, if it was a far place where it's a bit of a mission coming back the following day, then you'd make it 2 nights. But getting in a tent, making your coffee, scrambled eggs, a bit of sausage, that kind of thing. Best of all was, well, I would say one of the good things about last night, there's only 2 of us, so there was no pressure as to when you want to go to sleep. Both of us basically went to sleep at the same time. Sometimes when there's a larger group, sometimes not, people still, first people go to sleep. You'll never find that the whole group goes to sleep at the same time, and other people keep those that want to go to sleep earlier awake by socializing still around a fire if there's a fire. But man, oh man, the forest, mountain, the fire was a viervliegie. Firefly, yeah. Fireflies galore last night. That was something nice to see. Never see them at home. But we've started our track down and it's all downhill. So one thing's for sure, I can tell you with comfort now, I'm not going to battle as much going down here as I did yesterday. I might catch you a bit later. Yep, it's recording. Funny enough, I don't think we stopped once. No, we did, but that was not for being tired. We're actually fairly close to home. Like I was saying earlier, I enjoyed that, and I'll go and do it again. Find places, any places you can find here in the mountain. They are hard to find because there are very few places that has a nice little level piece of ground. But if you look, you will find. So anyway, if you've watched this, slightly different from the normal walking and saying today we're going to so and so or there and there, but let me not crock that off too much, if you know what that means. So anyway, thanks for watching about the camping, and I'll remind myself about having eggs for a change in the mountain and getting cold and then warming myself up, and I ended up getting some sleep at least. So yeah, I'll catch you definitely on something at some stage again. Thanks for watching, and subscribe. Click that like button please, and leave any comments. Bye.